Welcome back, episode 57. Can you believe it or not? Episode 57 of the Nisto Bros podcast.
The good old Johan Santana episode.
Okay, that's gross.
What's wrong with that?
I don't like him.
Oh, well, he was number 57.
He was number 57, but he shouldn't have even had a no-hitter.
Well, he was really good, so.
Madison Bumgarner's no-hitter was more of a no-hitter than Johan's.
That's not true at all.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, you want to hear a stat? I forget what the time period was, but it was something like there's been 80 no-hitters that have went through 7 that have not finished.
Yeah, but 7 innings in this doubleheader nonsense era is an official MLB game. So I think they need to fix up some rules. Anyway, this is not what we're talking about on this episode of the podcast. We are making movies, the 4th edition. We're going to talk more about it when we dive into it because we did a little bit of a twist on it this time. And I don't know about Austin, but I'm pretty excited about it.
I'm very excited about it as well. I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. I think every time, that we do it, it gets better and better. We hone our skills. And we get more into it a little bit, and we refine our storytelling skills. But we definitely want to get into that. We want to have time for it. Time is always a concern with that. So we're gonna hop right in to the birthdays, and I got a real special birthday. Happy birthday to the Duncan Queen herself, Charli D'Amelio, TikTok star, whatever, very famous.
And did the dance once.
She's turning 17 today, which is a little gross.
That's disgusting.
How famous she is at that age. I feel for her. That must be a tremendous amount of pressure. I was not doing anything of worth at 17. Happy birthday to Charli D'Amelio. I don't even know if her middle name is out there. It probably is.
I don't really know. I feel like it's probably not because she's technically a minor. I don't know. I don't know if that has
it probably is though, because people are insane, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I really don't know. I'm gonna say Charlie Francis. I'm gonna say Francis.
What?
Yeah,
okay. I'm gonna go with Charli Patricia D'Amelio. Charli D'Amelio. Okay, here we go.
I'm not even gonna try it, but yeah.
All right, she's got a very common little middle name. We got Charlie Grace D'Amelio. Very nice.
Oh, what a white girl.
I did do her dance, by the way. I'm not gonna be recreating it, but go back on our TikTok or Instagram and see it.
Yeah, it's on there. Very limited TikToks that we've put out on Nisto Bros TikTok, but maybe we'll get back into it. Who knows? Happy birthday to one of the 4 maybe we call him horsemen, Mount Rushmore, even maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of them. James Murray, aka Murr from Impractical Jokers. I was thinking about this because thinking about his middle name, I don't know if they've ever said it on. They may have. I don't remember. May have. But I know there was one episode they said the initial. And I don't know if that's the actual initial. So, but I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
And make my guess off of that.
Do you want me to guess first, then, so I don't also piggyback on that?
Sure, if you'd like.
All right. So
do
I
you
think
know
it's
what
James...
episode I'm talking about?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna go James Allen Murray though.
Okay. So I would love
a jam. I think he's a jam.
You read my mind. I would love that because that would make his initials jam. But there was an episode where his final punishment, it was animal cremation, grandparent divorce attorney, something like that. You remember that one?
Yeah.
So in the little song they put together, they said James S. Murray. So I'm thinking his middle name starts with an S. So I'm going James Stephen Murray.
All right,
with a V. If it's a PH, I'm going to be pissed.
Oh,
it's not a PH, is it?
It's a PH.
You're freaking kidding!
I'm not. Do you want me to share my screen right now?
I believe you.
James Stephen or Stephen, maybe Stephen Murray with a PH. Wow. That's
So
incredible that you
I
specified with the
specifically
V.
said with a V. I give myself half cred for that, but
Yeah, that's a half point for sure, even though we don't keep track.
what?
Yeah.
We don't keep track, but that's in the, that's up here. I can't believe
Oh,
that.
Austin, what are you drinking out of?
Oh, dude, that's sweet.
Nisto Drinks mug.
Look at that.
Do you know where you could get that, Mike?
Yeah, I do. If you go to our description bio and see the link there, Teespring / Nisto Bros brand / shop or something like that. Just go to the Instagram and click on that link, and then you can get some sweet. Look at this, Mount Rushmore. We're matching again. Don't even plan this. When you got chemistry, that's what you do. Go to the link. Use promo code Nisto Ships on all of your future orders for free shipping. Every single one. Every order.
Do it.
There
Happy
it is.
birthday, final one to current Mets pitcher Marcus Stroman. He left the game after the 5th inning last night with a little hamstring tightness. I hope you're okay. I'm very upset that you couldn't get me the quality start in my fantasy league, but happy birthday to you. I hope you're resting up and having a great day. He's turning 30, so he's definitely still in that athletic prime, and he is doing very well this season so far. I love him. He's really great. And I'm
Long Island boy too.
Long Island boy, for sure. Went to, I think it was Ward Melville High School.
I think so. Yeah. He was. I remember when Steven Matz was there, they were like rivals in high school, which is kind of funny because Steven Matz also Long Island boy, which is kind of funny, but that's besides the point. Also, how old is James Murray? Because we mentioned everybody else's. I'm going to say he's somewhere in the 40s.
Yeah, he's turning 45 today.
45. I would have guessed 44. So okay. If
I guess I'm going to say his name is right. Marcus. Marcus Carl Stroman.
You said Carl?
I did.
With a C or a K?
With a C.
Could we go back to back? Could it be Marcus Carl with a K? So. I don't think so. I'm going Marcus Fernando.
Okay. We have Marcus Earl Sweatshirt Stroman.
Earl Sweatshirt. All right.
Just Earl, but
Yeah, I kind of figured.
That's a weird one. Wow, I was not expecting that at all.
I was not expecting a Marcus Earl Stroman. Okay.
No. He went to...
That could be...
Patchogue Medford High School. Sorry, not Ward Melville.
Maybe Ward Melville was Steven Matz.
It was. I was...
Okay. Marcus Earl Stroman, if he had 2 middle names, and maybe you say it was like Marcus... If it could be Marcus Earl Sweatshirt Stroman, that's a mess. That one's free. That's not my joke. For later on in the pod, I just thought of that.
Sometimes jam can be a mess, man.
Sometimes jam could be a mess. On this day, I see so clearly because in 1999, the world. I'm going to say it. The world changed. The world absolutely.
May 1st.
May 1st. Oh, also, man, I feel bad. I'm going back to the birthdays. I'm sorry. It's my dog's birthday. Happy birthday, Chester. His second birthday.
Chester.
Posted it on Instagram. I miss him a lot. On this day, 1999, the world changed because we got this. You know what? People say there's flat earthers, there's round earthers. But in 1999, May 1st, the world got a little square. SpongeBob SquarePants premiered. You like how I did that? That was pretty cool. That was
very nice.
SpongeBob SquarePants premiered in 1999. I'm wearing yellow. I didn't even plan that either.
Hey, I'm wearing my Mount Rushmore. He's on my
the Mount Rushmore.
Mount Rushmore. Go back to that episode if you haven't seen it.
Unreal. And I can confidently say that changed the world.
Yeah, for sure. SpongeBob.
I'm 26 and I still quote SpongeBob. That says something.
How could you not?
That says something. 22 years later. Incredible. Oh, wow. Nice. Oh, jinx.
Wow. Chemistry is just on point this afternoon.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's almost like we could finish each other's
sandwiches.
Yes!
Yeah. And I didn't see. I took a sip earlier of my coffee, and on Nisto drinks this week,
Ooh, that was a good transition.
I went to Dunkin' and got myself a little coffee, but then also a little refresher.
Yeah.
And then I also off camera had even more refreshers. So we got a lot to talk about right now.
Wow. So it was a twofer
Yes.
on Nisto drinks this week.
Yeah. Coconut milk beverages.
Yeah.
Debuted at Dunkin' this week. They have a bunch of like pre-made ones that like you can try out. I showed us a picture of all of them. You can look at them on the Dunkin' app as well. Anyway, so I randomized between the 3 refreshers, and then I also just got the regular iced latte with coconut milk. Now, with the coconut milk and the iced latte, you could really get the coconut taste. You know, it definitely provided something extra to it. So if that's something that you like and that's what you want out of your milk alternative, to have a little bit of extra flavor, I didn't put any other, I mentioned this, any other sweetener, any kind of flavoring. So it was really just that coconut that got to shine through, and it really did. It wasn't overwhelming, but it was there. You could tell it was there for sure. In the refresher, though, it was not really there. I looked it up. Also, the refreshers are like a green tea base. So it's green tea, and then they just put the coconut milk in it, and then obviously the flavoring for whatever it was. So I tried all 3 new flavors. So there was the pink strawberry, golden peach, and some pomegranate something. So I tried the pink strawberry on the episode, so go back to see that if you didn't. I liked it in short. But the peach, I will say, was very overwhelming. It was
really?
very overwhelmingly peach.
Ooh,
it was
that's upsetting.
it was a big punch. It was a big punch of peach, which some people can really like and get down with, but it was very sweet, and it was kind of a little bit of the opposite of the pink strawberry that I tried, because the pink strawberry was nice. It was just a little hit of a nice strawberry flavor. And in all of them, the coconut milk didn't really play a factor though. So that
on the
also
refreshers.
On the refreshers,
That's
it was
interesting.
It was really more of just like that flavoring that they put in for whatever one it was. And then lastly, with the pomegranate one, it was just kind of like an indescript sweet fruity flavor. It wasn't, really like, in my experience with pomegranates, they're a little bit more tart. And I didn't really get that. It was just kind of like again, indescript. It was hard to, say, oh yeah, this is distinctly pomegranate-y. It was just kind of sweet, not too sweet again. They found like a pretty good balance with that one. But yeah, that's all I gotta say, I think.
Interesting.
So the coconut milk isn't really too much of a mover for me. Like
on the refreshers.
Yeah, on the refreshers, but in general, that now that it's there, it's like, okay, cool, that's another option. Maybe I would try out the refreshers by themselves, like with other. It doesn't really matter to me. Like, that's what I'm saying with the coconut milk. They could have had any milk in them, and they still probably would have been very similar. So
interesting.
But try them out for what you want. And also, this is a little funny story. Shout out to I'm talking to this girl on Bumble, and she works at I'm laying it all out there. And she said that she works at Dunkin', and I said, "Oh, you are you excited about the new coconut milk beverages?" And she's like, "No, because then everyone comes in and wants to try them, so I actually have to do work." So shout out to you.
Shout out to you, old no name. That'll be
I don't want to put her name out there, but yeah,
that'll be a story if things work out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, we can come back to this episode 57.
Sure.
Remember episode 57 in the intro here when we're talking about Nisto drinks.
I wanted to put it out there. I thought it was funny.
Have to do work. Unbelievable. Nisto eats this week right out of bed. Just went right into it. I went right into it. I went with a little snack that I got from Target. I was doing some grocery shopping. I actually wasn't even looking for something for Nisto Eats when I came upon this. It was the Reese's Puffs treats. It's like a granola bar, breakfast bar type of thing.
Cereal bar type thing.
Gotta say, wasn't very filling. I probably could have eaten the whole box, and I would have been okay.
Whole box? How many were? You said there was 8 in there, right?
There was 8. Yeah, 8 paras. That's what it said. I don't know if my pronunciation is right, but there was 8 bars. I probably could have eaten them all. I might have spent a little time in the restroom afterwards, but I could have done it. And that might be would have filled me up. So if you kind of want to be like full, maybe don't. I also, when I was editing the video, I said that it was really good, but then I kind of gave it a lowish score because I guess I thought about it some more. It was really good. Don't get me wrong. I just expected a lot more.
Yeah.
It was just like, I don't know. I'd much rather have a bowl of Reese's Puffs over that. Like if I was like in a rush and like needed to, hit the road or something, I probably would have grabbed like 2 of those instead of having a bowl of cereal or something like that.
Right.
But it was pretty good. I would probably have other ones. I know I mentioned it on the episode that I had a Cinnamon Toast Crunch one time, and that one was really good. So I kind of expected similar with this, not so much, but it was still good.
I will say, I think I'm pretty sure I tried the Lucky Charms one a few years ago.
I saw that one too.
And I think I have a very similar thought process to you and the Reese's Puffs. It was like, yeah, but it's like it's not capturing the essence how I wanted it to. I mean, it was like good in its own kind of way,
right.
But I would much rather have a regular bowl of Lucky Charms. Like it doesn't.
There's
it's
just
not really
something about it.
It's not a direct substitute,
Yeah.
Like you might think it is. It's just kind of has a little bit of Lucky Charm to it, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Yeah, there's something about it. It's like I can't really put my finger on it exactly, but yeah, there's just something about it. It's just like slightly off, and not in a bad way. Like it's not bad. I'm still gonna eat them, but it's just like I don't know, something's missing. I don't know, something maybe got lost in the translation from cereal.
It might have been the milk. Maybe the milk is missing.
I strongly disagree since I don't put milk in my cereal. So
I know.
But yeah. Stay tuned for next week's Nisto Drinks, Nisto Eats. If you guys have recommendations, definitely sauce them our way.
For sure.
Us, did you just see a ghost?
No, I was just very excited.
Okay. Makin movies number 4. So we did something a little different, like I alluded to at the top. Normally, what we did, for the first episode was like just chaos because of someone who just kept going and going and going. But anyway, we narrowed it down. We're going to go like 3 main key actresses, right?
Yep.
And you get to pick whoever you want and you get to pick the genre. So we did a little different this time. You still have the freedom of picking who you want in your show or your movie rather, but we randomized the genre that was given to us. So correct. Austin does not know mine, and I don't know Austin's going into this. We randomized it, and he has his, and I have mine, and then we built it from there. So we did it slightly different. Instead of just picking our genre again, randomized the genre, had a little extra fun with this. I'm excited. I'm excited.
I think it it adds another element to it, switches it up, makes it interesting, makes it fun. And kind of gives us a little bit of a direction that we can be creative in, and not that we not just go off on whatever we want. It focuses it a little bit, and then we can take off from there and go wherever we want within that genre. So and we still also we're gonna do a 15-minute timer, correct?
Yeah, I'm gonna need it, especially for
10
this
or 15.
One. I think we did 15, and I would very much like 15.
Okay. Good.
Because I got really into this. I put, we both prepped for this again. We did it for Making Movies 3. It worked out very well, so we continue to do that, probably going forward. And I'm not gonna lie, I got lost in the sauce a little bit writing this out.
I was thinking, man, like if we keep progressing and doing it like more and more, we're gonna end up writing a full movie script at some point.
Yeah, I think we should. And I think, there's got to be some directors out there that's going to hear this and they're going to be like, yo, that's gold. Like maybe we, might not get the marquee names that we mentioned,
Yeah,
but you know what? The concept is still there. Okay.
right.
So any producers out there that, watch this, hit our lines,
For sure,
that
for sure.
hotline bling. You remember that song?
I remember that song.
Drake is not in my movie. Spoiler alert.
I played Hotline Bling in marching band.
That's right. I actually remember that. It was
Yeah.
very good. Better than Drake.
Thank you so much. Do we rock paper scissors, or do we just kind of decide? How do we do this?
I mean, it doesn't. I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no.
So much. How are you feeling? You want to start us off, or you want me to? Personally, I kind of want to go second, only because I know selfishly it gives me a little more time in case I do go over my 15.
Sure.
But
no, yeah,
it's completely up to you.
I'm fine. I'm fine with going right now.
Okay.
So,
let me grab my phone. I'll get my timer ready. I have my.
I'm feeling it right now.
So before we start the timer, talk us through it. What is the
genre?
Yeah, the genre, because I'm dying to know.
Yes. So my genre, when we randomly selected, so what we did was like we randomly selected a movie, and then like we chose the genres that were associated with it. So I actually had three.
Oh,
three all lumped into one here. So we got a drama, mystery, crime movie.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right.
A little along the lines I was thinking of, like the second Makin movies.
Yes.
I did a little courtroom drama that there was a crime involved with, but I went a decently far away direction from that. So I'm excited to see what you guys think of it. And yeah, I think I'm ready.
Give me 1 second.
1 minuto.
There we go. I needed to turn my air on because I'm getting a little toasty in here.
I'm getting a little toasty too. I think I'm gonna have some perspiration under the armpits at the end of the episode, but
I know when I get into my movie, I'm gonna be animated as always. So I'm ready. Are you ready? Okay. You know what? I'm gonna do the stopwatch. I'm not gonna do the timer because that limits you to 15. Doing a stopwatch gives you a little leeway. You can go over a little bit. So
I'm usually pretty good at reeling it in, but I think
I'll be good. Yeah. Not can't say the same for everybody in the room right now.
Right.
George. I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. So I'll just say it right off the bat. We got my 3 actors.
Oh, he's going right into it.
Winona Ryder, Al Pacino, and Matt Damon.
Oh my goodness. All right.
So we're starting, and also I was thinking in my head, the whole setting of it is kind of a little bit when they were younger. So I'm gonna say this movie was actually coming out in like maybe 2005.
Okay.
So they were a bit younger, a little bit more.
That's fair.
Fits the bill a little bit more. But these are the actors I wanted, and they kind of fit into the plot. So I'm starting out the setting here. We're in 2003, actually.
Okay.
2003. Matt Damon is a college student. His name is Jim, by the way. So I have character names and stuff. So we got Jim. He's going to college in New York, but he's a Boston kid. He's a Boston kid through and through. He decided he wanted to go. There was a real good program in New York. But the thing was, it ended up being the college wasn't for him. Some people, that's what happens, man. And so he was in the city. He was kind of looking, I don't really know what I want to do with my life, but I know that, I think it would be a really good thing for me to maybe try and join the police. The NYPD, most prestigious police department. I wanna go for it. So he drops out of college fully. He's like, I'm fully committing to this. I wanna do this. And sorry.
No, you're good.
Jim is like, yeah, I'm just gonna go for the police academy and see where this takes me. So, And here's our introduction to Al Pacino. He is the police chief. He's like the super head of police. Like he's the guy. He's old at this point. He's close to he's pretty close to retirement. But he is the guy, and he can tell that that Jim is a Bostonite. Um,
Oh yeah, dude.
and it creates a little there's some barriers. There's some barriers for Jim. The training is a little bit difficult for him, and things he's really trying his hardest. But what happens is that he uh despite doing really well in a lot of the different um tests and stuff in the academy, the decision ultimately comes down to Sal, and he says, no, you didn't make the cut, kid. There's some scenes in there that they get a little heated. That he thought he did really well. Sal said, no, you can't. You're not making it. You're not good enough. But obviously there's some bias there. There's a little bit of bias there that he's a masshole. um he's from Boston. And throughout all of this, um Abigail Winona Ryder is she's not like, she didn't start as like Jim's main squeeze, but they were acquaintances, they were friends in college and stuff, and she was supporting him throughout the whole thing. And there's a lot of scenes where Jim's like, this is ridiculous. I'm going through all this tough training, and I can tell like there's just that, he can tell that there was that underlying bias against him. And she was a lifetime New Yorker, so she's like, yeah, no, it's gonna be tough for you. Um they really don't like the assholes, but she believed in him. That was the main thing. She was always there. She believed in him. They showed, coffee dates, and things escalated eventually, and they ended up shacking up, They ended up shacking up. Abigail and Jim are together. And he obviously, after he got rejected from the NYPD, he was kind of like, okay, well, I dropped out of college. I got rejected from the police. What am I going to do now? So he flips the switch and he said, you know what? I'm going back home. I need to go back to Boston, and I need to redeem myself. And I'm going to become the greatest police officer that the Boston Police Department has ever seen. So he goes back, and it takes some convincing, but Abigail makes the jump with him. They both move to Boston. That's kind of the end of Act One in a sense, like that. That's the introduction to who everyone is. You follow me so far?
Yeah, 5 minutes in, just in case you want to know.
5 minutes in, great. 5 minutes for each act, kind of. All right. So, he gets into the Boston Police Department. There's not too much of a story there, he's able to get it. Obviously, he was pretty qualified, but even after going through a NYPD Police Academy, now he's ready. He was able to get in. And so now I'm gonna fast forward a little bit in the story, 2 years. It's now 2005 in my book.
Yeah.
He's thriving. He set his mind to it. He wants to become, like I said, the greatest Boston police officer. However that was. He's rising up the ranks. He's getting involved in multiple different types of cases. He's doing some detective work, but he's also doing he's doing great. And again, throughout this 2 years, his relationship with Abigail is progressing, and he even proposed to her. They're really moving fast, and they're having a great time together. Then tragedy strikes.
Of course.
At a Boston Red Sox Yankees game, a bomb goes off at the entrance of Fenway Park and kills dozens of people. Jim immediately calls Abigail, says, "Are you okay? Like, where are you? What happened? Are you okay?" She's fine. She's crying. it's a very emotional thing for
Was she
her.
at the game?
She was not at the game, but he didn't know where she was. He didn't
Oh,
know where she was. So he just needed to check on her, and then he immediately responded to the scene. But he
of
checked on
course.
Abigail first. She said, no, no, I'm fine. Like I wasn't anywhere near the area or anything like that. Like, um, she was just out. So, uh, this is in July, by the way. I wrote that, but it's not really that essential. Uh, so he responds to the scene. He's working with the detectives. He really wants to take a handle on this case because he does have some like I talked about, he has that kind of route to New York City a little bit as well. So he has this conversation with Abigail afterwards about like we have to like communicate with the NYPD because there's a Yankees Red Sox series 2 weeks from now. There's a Yankees Red Sox series 2 weeks from now. We need to make sure that nothing drastic happens at that series as well, because that would, obviously we don't want any more um, acts like this to happen, any more lives to be lost or anything like that. So, um, Sal is taking a very similar approach to Jim at the NYPD. At this point, it's 2 years later. He's very close to retiring. He kind of wants to see this case through as his kind of final case to really, um, you know, take down whoever the person was who created that tragedy, but then also make sure nothing happens in New York City, because that's obviously his territory that he wants to protect. But it's all about the Boston New York rivalry. That's what's really being set up here, um, and how Jim is going to have to. So what happens is Jim and a team of detectives and other Boston police um, go to New York. They have meetings. They have several meetings, and there's a lot of scenes, obviously, um, where Sal and Jim are like, they're hashing it out, and there's hostility between them because uh, obviously Sal was the one who said no, you're not good enough for the NYPD, and he's trying to prove his point that he was good enough. Okay. How am I doing on time?
9.5 minutes.
9.5 minutes. All right.
Yes, sir.
So throughout these meetings, throughout these 2 weeks between the two events, they're investigating. They're trying to figure out who suspects could be, you know, but all of them are leading to, they hit blocks in the road. They find one person who was close to the crime scene, but it ended up that he was dead. He ended up dying afterwards, or he died in the explosion, so he wouldn't have been that close, so he couldn't have been the one. They found someone who had a motive to do it, that there was people involved, but it checked out that he, wasn't in the state even when it happened. So there was all these different leads that they had on potential suspects, and they were really coming down to nothing. And um Sal just asked, like, I know you're with that girl Abigail, like where was she, like, at the time, like, was she all right, did anything happen to her? And he's like, yeah, no, she said she was just like, she was out, she was just doing whatever. And and Sal says, like, oh well, what was she out doing? She's like, oh yeah, she didn't really mention it. She was just out and doing whatever. And so Jim was like, what are you trying to say here? Like, and he's like, I don't know, it's just like she didn't really say anything about it. So, maybe you could just like run it by her. Uh, and so what happens is an absolute full heel turn from Abigail. Jim brings it up to her in their, wherever they're staying in New York, right? Because they're still in New York.
Okay.
And Abigail says, she's talking, like, what are you saying? Like, I just asked, like, or I just told you, like, I was out, I wasn't doing anything or anything like that. I was just like shopping or whatever. She was just like trying to cover stuff up. And Jim is like, oh, I mean, no, I was just asking because, we're really like stuck for, leads anything. So I was just like checking to see what was going on. And so the full heel turn is he keeps kind of suggesting and asking things. And she goes on this whole tirade. I really wish I wrote it out, but I didn't have time to. Stuff like, you never would have made it in the NYPD. You were never good enough. Nothing was good enough. Like, New York is always going to be superior to Boston. Blah 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 blah. All of that, and so that's what she did. Now, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, I thought it out that she would kind of be admitting this all to him, being the one who orchestrated the bombing. Doesn't really make 100% sense, but she was trying to prove that he was never going to be good enough to make it. And so that ends up kind of being the bringing the hammer down, and Sal and Jim end up working together to bring Abigail and her posse of people who orchestrated the bombing down, and were able to prevent it from happening, because she said, just wait. She flees from the apartment before Jim can do anything. And, she says something like, just wait to see what I do next. And they were able to bring her down before anything happened at the Yankee Red Sox game. And that was pretty much all I had. So they brought her down. Sal and Jim worked together. Al Pacino, Matt Damon. They squashed the beef. Boston, New York worked together to save, because it's bigger. It's bigger than the rivalry at this point. They realize that they're all Americans, right? At the end of the day, they're just
I don't know which way to put that up, but it's
no, I got it.
14 minutes.
I'm wrapping it up. You got it.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it. They work together. Sal ends up retiring, and then because Jim works up, this amazing case and is able to solve it, he works his way up even higher in the Boston Police Department and keeps progressing up the ladder. And then maybe there's like a closing scene of Jim visiting Sal in retirement and being like,
cracking a brewski or something.
Yeah, man.
Wow. There
it is.
Abigail heel turn, heist of the century. Did not expect that.
Yeah.
Did not expect that. I like it. That keeps you on your toes.
Yeah, for sure. Mystery. There was a crime, the drama of the relationship between all of them. Yeah, that's what I got for you guys. I don't know what I would call it, but
I dig it.
There it is.
Oh, I dig it.
Thank you very much.
I
appreciate it.
Dig it. I gotta top that. So
you gotta top that.
Before
I think you can.
Before I get into it, I have to say I did a little bit of a different route with this. There's actually a lot of dialogue, so I'm not going to try and do the voices of these characters, but I did a good number of writing this out and using the tone that they use. Maybe I'll use the tone. I know myself, I'll probably catch myself trying to do some kind of fugazi voice for these people, but just want to go with that.
Actually, can I just mention something super quick before you get into it?
Absolutely.
One of the things I thought of is like Winona Ryder is the mom, Will's mom in Stranger Things.
That's right. She is.
And so I was thinking like she could play like a really good crazy person, and like
absolutely
when she does the full heel turn. So that's all I wanted to say.
Absolutely. And it's funny you mentioned that, because my genre is very similar. I had two genres: mystery, thriller.
Ooh, okay. All right. I'm
mystery,
ready for it.
Thriller.
Oh, let me get my stopwatch.
While you get your stopwatch ready, I have to say I broke a little bit of the rules. I have a lot of cameos in there. Okay,
that's fine.
So for the most part, the, like they don't even like say anything, but they all work. It all works itself out, and I just hope that I can do this in at least 15 minutes because I have a lot here and I want to get all of it out. If I have to skip some of the stuff in the beginning here, I'll do it. But
let's go.
Before you start, my three main characters, I think we should start doing that in the future, by the way. If we have three characters, the three main characters right before the time starts. Channing Tatum.
I was thinking about Channing Tatum in mine also, actually, but yeah, okay. Yes.
George Clooney.
Wow. Handsome cast.
Oh, it gets better. Such a good looking cast. I wouldn't say handsome because she's beautiful. Margot Robbie.
Went all out. All right, I'm ready. Ready?
Out. I am so ready.
Go.
It didn't start.
Go.
All right. So I haven't thought of like where it's taking place. It's not that as important as New York versus Boston.
Right.
Right off the bat, George Clooney is Channing Tatum's dad in the movie. Margot Robbie and Channing Tatum are an item. Okay. They're dating. Early on, we find out that George Clooney is ill. He's very sick. He's not doing well. Refuses to go to the hospital. So Channing Tatum is forced to break up with Margot Robbie because he needs to take care of his ill father, George Clooney, who doesn't want to go to the hospital. Okay.
He's stubborn.
Yeah, he's stubborn, doesn't want to go to the hospital. Even on his deathbed, I gotta look a dude. Okay, say it. Margot Robbie is very understanding, still very, very upset, of course. That's her boo thang, who's just dumping her. So, but she tells Channing Tatum that she's there for him and George Clooney no matter what, and would be by their side if they ever need it. And then they go their separate ways. A week later, Channing Tatum was out at the store. He comes back to give George Clooney his daily meds because he's on all kinds of medicine. Don't really know what he's sick with, but he's sick. He's ill. He's ill. Okay. So he goes in to give him his medicine, his daily meds, and he sees that all of the pill bottles are empty. He wakes up his dad, George Clooney. Wake up, you big idiot. And he asks him if he was responsible for why the bottles were empty. But George Clooney is so weak. He's, sick in bed. He's ill. There's no way that he even had the strength to grab the bottles. So Channing Tatum tells George Clooney, he's like, Dad, look, we need to get you to the hospital now because there's no way I can get the medication for you in time. So he calls 911 and he gets an ambulance to their house and they bring George Clooney in. Okay. So they make it in time to the hospital. George Clooney gets hooked up to the bed and all the monitors and stuff like that. But Channing Tatum, this whole time on his way back to the apartment, in the ambulance ride, and now in the hospital, has felt very uneasy. He keeps thinking that he's seeing things. He's seeing like people from the past and stuff like that. But he always like shakes out of it. Okay. So to calm down, he decides to go to the cafeteria. He needs some coffee. He needs some coffee with his Nisto Drinks mug that he brought from home because, when your sick dad is getting rushed to the hospital, the first thing you think of is let me grab my Nisto Drinks mug to get some coffee. Okay. How am I doing on time? Just for
3 minutes.
Oh, wow. I'm cruising. Okay. I could slow down a little because I want to get it all out. So I feel like I'm going super fast.
I'm with you. Okay. Though. You're going good.
So he goes to the cafeteria. Okay. He comes back after getting his Nisto Drinks coffee, and there's nurses and doctors running in to George Clooney's room. Okay. Everyone is yelling, moving quick, all kinds of things. Channing Tatum is denied entry to George Clooney's room because there's so much commotion going on that he can't get in there. The doctors and the nurses need to do their thing. Okay. So he's left here. He's standing in the doorway or maybe like a window way, just outside looking in. And he sees all the nurses and the doctors working on him. And then he hears the dreaded flatline noise. Beep. And that's like all you hear. You know, you just see him like looking through, and George Clooney dies. Oh my goodness. He's heartbroken. The doctors and the nurses clear the room. They allow Channing Tatum to go back inside. And I'm sorry, I haven't given them names. I was working on the chunk of the story. So Channing Tatum goes into the room after they clear out to give him a moment with George Clooney. So he sits beside, his dad's bed there, and he's crying, and he puts his head down like this, like on, holding his hand. Am I 5 minutes? Okay, thank you. He's holding his dad's hand, and he puts his head down on like the arm of the bed and Clooney's arm, and he sees something alarming. He noticed that the monitors that George Clooney was hooked up to were unplugged. Channing Tatum goes from sad to mad in an instant. He's yelling at doctors and nurses. He's throwing things, accusing them of killing his father, causing a huge ruckus, which leads to Channing Tatum getting arrested.
Oh, man.
He's arrested. He breaks equipment. He's throwing things. He's yelling at nurses. He probably punched out a doctor or two. Classic.
That's assault, brother.
That is assault, brother. So he's arrested, okay? The next day, we see Channing Tatum sleeping in his cell, okay? By himself, because he's bougie like that. He's woken up by a guard, like banging on his cell. He wakes up frantic and he looks around and he looks at the guard and he sees again someone from his past. He shakes his head, wipes his eyes, and he comes to his senses, and the guard is just a guard. Okay. The guard tells him that they're ready to hear his story, answer his questions, and ask him questions. Classic,
yes.
Square room table.
Yeah, questioning room.
Yeah. So because he was such a hothead in the hospital, he's handcuffed to the table. You dig? So he's handcuffed to the table, okay? Waiting for the officers and the guards. So it's just him handcuffed like this, looking mint in an orange suit. Gotta say, Channing Tatum would rock it. All right. So the door opens to the questioning room. In comes Margot Robbie. Tatum looks just like you. He looks stunned and confused. Robbie sits down and very snarky, she says, I don't know, I can't do her voice. I'm thinking of like a Harley Quinn, of course, voice. Hello, darling. And Tatum is speechless. Robbie says, I'm sure you're wondering why I'm here. And Tatum nods. Robbie says in a sarcastic tone, it's so unfortunate to hear about the passing of your father. So sad. If only you had a strong woman by your side to help you through these tough times.
Oh my goodness.
But wait, you did. Me. And you kicked me aside. Come to think of it, you did the same to Emma and AJ. Didn't think I knew them, huh? The door opens and enters Emma Stone and AJ Lee.
Nice.
Ex-girlfriends of Channing Tatum, because he's macking it, all right?
Yeah, he's pulling baddies.
Oh yeah, baddies for days. So these are the two faces that Channing Tatum has been seeing, So let me find my spot here. Yeah. So when he was shaking himself out of it, he thought he saw them. Okay. So Robbie continues. She's laughing. She says, isn't it nice to know people in the right places, honey? Knowing Emma working in a hospital really could have helped your dad stay alive.
Whoa.
AJ working for your father's doctor would have been nice to know to get those meds when he suddenly ran out, right? Channing Tatum is getting angry now. He's starting to shake in his chains, but he can't move, which makes Margot Robbie laugh just a little bit more, right? So she continues. This is the big chunk of dialogue now. So
you're approaching the 10-minute mark, by the way.
10-minute mark? Perfect. So she continues. You've been seeing their faces recently, haven't you? But thought it was just your head? Wrong! They've been here the whole time.
Wow.
Maybe you had forgotten that you gave a key to the three of us. And now she says, quote it like as if that Channing Tatum would say this next part, but she says it to like continue her dialogue. But wait, you gave the keys back to me. Now back to her dialogue. Yes, we did, but not before we made copies of them, sweetie pie. She gives all these like silly pet names because it's like petty, you know? So, and you were too dense to change the locks. She's calling him out. Dad's pills gone? AJ replaced the bottles with empty ones while you were gone. Wondering why we came to this hospital instead of the hospital 5 minutes away from your house? Emma works here and was able to get an ambulance to your apartment or house, whatever. But what about the plugs being pulled? With all of the doctors and nurses rushing in, how could something like that happen? You just needed your coffee, didn't you? Leaving your sleeping, dying father there for little old me to come in and simply unplug everything before everyone noticed. And Tatum is shaking in his handcuffs. He's trying to break free. He's mad, just like he was in the hospital, because now his ex-girlfriend, as with his two other ex-girlfriends, are telling him, we did the deal.
We killed your father.
We did the thing. How am I doing on time?
Just about 12 minutes.
Perfect. So, and now the three of them, Margot Robbie, Emma Stone, and AJ Lee, all laughing because he can't break free. So Robbie then says, and this anger is exactly what we had expected when we pulled those plugs, which is what got you here. This is what got you arrested. And with all the damage you've done in the hospital, you could be locked up for a very long time. If only you were friends with the judge who has your case. The door opens. In steps the judge of the case.
Judge Judy.
Judge Jonah Hill.
Wow.
Or Jonah Hill. Judge Jonah Hill steps in. The four of them begin to laugh in Tatum's face as he's trying to get out. And Robbie says, good luck, pumpkin, as the four of them leave the room with Tatum shaking and crying in the chains on the desk, and he puts his head down, and the movie is over. I think I did it in less than 15.
Yeah, that's 13 and a half minutes right there.
Holy smokes. 13 and a half.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable.
Thrilling for sure.
Absolutely. Margot Robbie obviously plays the perfect, just badass bitch. And then like Emma Stone and AJ Lee come in. They don't even have to say anything. They could do their laugh, but they're like that evil that you would see. And then Jonah Hill barely needs to do anything. He comes in. The story with Channing Tatum and him, obviously everybody knows about it. Different movies, but you know, it brings a little bit of that that real life, or like
Right.
another movie, like that they're
Yeah, it's like
linked
a
together. They come in and they're turning
connected
on Channing Tatum.
universe.
Yeah,
Wow,
and bang,
that's incredible.
insane in the membrane.
Yeah, wow. I mean, like I said at the top, I think every time we're just we're out doing a little bit more and a little bit more. That was great.
Killing it. And I did
And I
it
really
in less than 15.
that's
unprecedented.
That's the biggest accomplishment, I really think.
That's unprecedented for me.
And I do agree, though. I think let us know, guys. But I think that the genres is really a fun twist on it. Too,
I agree.
We both can kind of have fun with that.
When I saw I got a movie that said mystery thriller, for some reason I immediately thought of Margot Robbie because of doing something exactly like I did with her in this movie.
Right.
Just having her, be the like sweet girl, in the beginning, but then nope, you would have thought here comes the bitch side.
Right.
But yeah, I'm loving this. I think that doing the randomized movie genre is something that we definitely continue in the future. Definitely gets you the creative juices flowing, and it gives you a good start, and then it also, I think, will help us refrain from repeating storylines, repeating genres and stuff like that.
For sure.
Because I'm sure that it would be pretty easy to do after a while. But let us know what you think about our movies, our makeshift movies. If you're a director, hit us up, because we'll get this popping. Okay, maybe we can't bring in Margot Robbie, George Clooney, Channing Tatum and friends, but could work.
Definitely. All right. Let's move on to the post of the week, and then we'll wrap up the episode 57.
Oh yeah.
All right, here we go.
Back to back John Boy Media at John Boy Media on Twitter. Back to back golf posts here for the post of the week. Again, from John Boy Media. Caption here is, oh yeah, and look at that. Before I even go into that, it's trending on Twitter, for goodness sakes. That is Charlie D'Amelio's birthday. They probably heard it here first, let's be real, even though this is a recording, but shut up.
They definitely did.
They had to know. The caption of the tweet had several guesses about how this was gonna go. This was not one of them. Crying emoji. So before we press play, it's a golf. He's on the green. He's getting ready to make a putt, and the flag boy is on the flag, getting ready to pull the flag for him to maybe sink the putt. But let's see what happens.
And if you want to watch the video, if you're an audio learner, click the link in the description. You will be able to watch it along with us.
Absolutely. Here it goes. Willie DeWitt lining up for the putt.
Here we go.
Oh, he hits it. Oh, it hits it goodly. Oh. It takes a turn for the worst. And then, boom! He just says, forget this. I'm kicking the ball. And then he throws his hat too. Yeah. You gotta throw the hat too. I say let it roll again. Let it roll one more time.
I mean,
he lines
it's just
up
incredible.
He hits it so well. You think it's going great. It's gonna go, and like nobody would expect this. And it just I don't know if
read the break.
No,
I guess
not.
And then it's downhill.
A big
going downhill.
He says,
I don't even want to see it keep going. Boom.
He just kicks it. Absolute through the uprights, sends that golf ball, and then throws his hat and just walks off.
At least when he took his hat off, there was no
he has hair.
Yes, he has hair. And
there was no hat tan.
There was no blinding going on.
No hat tan, just like last week. So if you missed that last week, go check that out. And then
when I saw this, though, I was laughing. I was laughing very hard.
Oh yeah, because the caption's very, very true. Yeah, several guesses on how it's gonna go. I did not expect this at all. At all.
Because you were like, I mean, even before clicking on it, like you can say, oh man, this looks like a pretty decent putt if he makes this, and even after it starts tailing, you're like, oh, well, it's going to roll all the way down or something like that. Like you don't expect the guy to punt it. Just incredible.
And then yeet his hat. It's like I thought maybe he was gonna sink the putt. It's a pretty far putt, and then maybe have like an over the top celebration or something. No, absolutely not. Over the top meltdown is more like it.
Yeah. So there's the post a week. Very good. Very good stuff.
Absolutely.
All right, I'm going with my joke first.
Yeah, sure. Hit it.
Knock, knock.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Who's there?
Manatee.
Manatee who?
Manatee would be better than a sweater today. It is hot.
So stupid. And I was talking about putting the air on before. So that was all foreshadowing for your joke.
Oh, big time. Big time. When you said that, I was like, oh, man. The only thing that would have made it better if it was actually wearing a sweater. But
yeah.
There it is. A quick
off.
little knock joke. I had never heard it before. I thought it was a pretty good one. Pretty silly,
It's pretty funny. That's funny. I was thinking about the golf situation, and being down here in Florida, I picked up golfing a little bit more.
Have you?
Yeah, a little bit. So I went golfing the other day, and a similar thing. I was with a buddy from school. Just he was having an off day. Obviously, he's better than me, but I did better than him. So he was a bit upset. So we're like, hey, you know what? Let's, I don't drink really, but let's go out to get drinks, okay? So yesterday, he got really drunk, okay? And
okay.
Yeah, he got really drunk, and I brought him back to his apartment. It was many floors, one of those kind of apartment complexes. So I brought him in the elevator because he wasn't going to make it up the stairs, and he pukes in the elevator on the way back. Yeah, it was disgusting on so many levels.
Wow. Very different, very many different levels. Levels.
Oh yeah, many different levels. Couldn't believe
incredible.
Yeah, wow. That was all specifically for the joke. I did not pick up golf down here.
I didn't think so.
No. I would. My clubs are at home. I'm gonna have to get new clubs maybe or rent some. I don't know. 57, episode 57. That's a wrap. Thanks for coming out, making movies again. Let us know what you thought about making those movies.
Next time, hold on. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. But next time when we do making movies, it's gonna be making movies number 5. Do you know anything else about the number 5, Mike?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I actually do have an idea on something about the number 5 and 25 or more. Usually, if you download the Cheesleys app at checkout, if you spend 25 or more, you can use the promo code Nisto Bros for $5 off your orders of 25 or more with that promo code Nisto Bros at checkout on the Cheesleys app. Do it.
That was pretty smooth, right?
That was pretty good. That was really
all right.
Good.
What were you gonna say though?
Next week, episode 58, the Big 5-8. We're doing it. We're doing a dinner date, dinner, lunch, breakfast date, maybe a little brunch. I'm gonna say it. Okay. We're working on it. It's not set in stone just yet. If it doesn't happen this time, it's going to happen in the future. We might have an actual guest on
the dinner date,
worthy of the dinner date segment. Okay. Yes. I said it. Okay.
I'm not going to put it out there.
I'm not putting it out there. It's not set in stone just yet. When it is confirmed, if it is for this week, stay tuned. Check the Instagram stories. Will be there.
Yeah,
I'm excited. I'm giddy. I hope we can get them on.
Yeah, it will be very exciting. It's something we've been thinking about trying to do for a while. So hopefully it all works out. And stay tuned. Stay tuned to the Instagram. Follow us there. Subscribe on YouTube. Do all the things. But I think that's pretty much all we got for episode 57, right?
Yeah, I think so. Episode 57 is a wrap. Stay tuned for Nisto Drinks Thirsty Thursday, Foodie Fridays, Nisto Eats. Next thing you know, it's Saturday. We're gonna be right back here in a week's time doing the dinner date stuff. Okay.
And also doing the peace, love, sip.
Don't pull the plug on your ex's father and eat
Yikes.
and
Listen. All right. Goodbye.